Before we dive into today's paradox, a quick reminder. Crafting these deep, cinematic worlds and rewriting history takes countless hours of research, writing, and production. If you enjoy these intense psychological mind games, please take a moment to subscribe, hit the like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Your support is the only thing that keeps these parallel universes alive. Now, let us begin.
Part 1. The Empire of the Mind. For centuries, the sky had forgotten its natural blue. High above the city, massive copper-colored electromagnetic clouds merged with giant neon billboards, painting the night in a toxic synthetic yellow. And on every corner, on every street, flashing into the retina of every single human being, stood one dominant emblem: Edison Corp. The year was 2900. Humanity had discovered 2 centuries ago that death was not the end. Reincarnation was no longer a belief. It was a proven law of physics. Souls did not die. They recycled through the energy pool of the universe and woke up in new bodies. But this monumental discovery brought ultimate enslavement, not freedom. Because the man who first solved reincarnation and patented the memory transfer devices was the most ambitious soul in history: Thomas Alva Edison. Edison was the sole ruler of this new era. His global corporation scanned the soul code of every newborn baby, uploading their past lives into an AI database. If your soul had rebelled against Edison in a past life, you woke up as a slave in this new world. Yet, in the dark, suffocating labyrinths of the underground, among rusted pipes and stolen power lines, one man stood against the empire. Known for his elegant but battered suit, sharp shoulders, and an obsessed gleam of genius in his eyes, a rebel: Nikola Tesla. Tesla was born as a fugitive in this century. He had reclaimed his memories not through Edison's machines, but using a crude, primitive brainwave device he built himself. He was fighting for humanity's free will. Because Edison's final project, the Ethernet, was about to launch, a frequency network designed to control all human minds from a single center, turning mankind into nothing but thinking flesh. Inside his secret underground lab, surrounded by massive cables, Tesla was working in a sweat. Before him stood a colossal capsule covered in brass plates, capable of bending the fabric of time: the Chronos Pod. Tesla whispered to himself, "The future is locked. We cannot go forward. Time only allows us to step back into the footprints it left behind. Our only hope is the past." Part 2. The Barrel of Betrayal. The rusted iron door of the lab rattled with a deafening screech. Digital screens flashed blood red. Signals were failing. Edison's cybernetic enforcers had finally decoded Tesla's coordinates. Boom! The heavy metal door blasted inward. Through the smoke walked a man in a flawlessly tailored white suit. The right side of his face was completely covered in cybernetic implants, but that arrogant, mocking smile remained unchanged. It was the future Edison himself. Edison slowly stepped forward, aiming a glowing plasma rifle straight at Tesla. His metallic boots echoed coldly against the floor. "The same old story, isn't it, Nikola?" Edison said, his voice echoing with a chilling mechanical resonance. "Hundreds of years, dozens of different bodies. Yet your soul still feeds on that obsolete idealism. Did you really think you could save the world?" Tesla stood tall, entering the final codes into the time machine's panel. You turned the world into a corporation, Edison. You build people's souls. That is not science. That is a disease. Edison laughed. It was the exact same laugh he gave in his famous laboratory back in 1885. Science is only science as long as it sells, Tesla. You never learned that. Now, your little game is over. The Ethernet goes live tonight. And your soul? In your next life, you will be nothing but a simple microchip working in my factories. Edison pulled the trigger. Bang! A beam of blue plasma pierced through Tesla's chest. Tesla was thrown backward in agony. As blood soaked his elegant jacket, with one final, desperate act of will, he reached out and slammed the main lever down. The capsule doors sealed with immense pressure. The massive coils inside began to spin, unleashing violent blue sparks. Edison rushed forward in rage, smashing against the glass, but it was too late. The Chronos Pod vanished into a blinding light, tearing through space-time. Tesla had left the year 2900. Part 3. Among the Sparks. The year 1899. The place, Tesla's wooden laboratory in Colorado Springs. Outside, monstrous black clouds gathered over the Colorado mountains, the sky violently hurling lightning bolts at the earth. But the noise inside the lab was loud enough to drown out the storm. In the center of the hall, a colossal Tesla coil fired millions of volts of electricity into the metal plates under the roof, filling the air with a sharp smell of ozone. The young Tesla, the true Tesla of 1899, was frantically scribbling formulas in his notebook. His hair was standing up from the static electricity, his eyes burning with a visionary fire. He was on the verge of proving wireless power to the world. Suddenly, just the artificial lightning inside the lab began to warp, bending toward a single point. The magnetic field grew so intense that metal tools on the tables lifted into the air. Tesla backed away in shock. This is not a current I created. The resonance is collapsing, he shouted to himself. Within seconds, a violent purple flash exploded in the center of the room. The wooden floor shook. As the dust and smoke cleared, a heavy mass crashed onto the floor. Young Tesla immediately grabbed a thick copper coil as a weapon, stepping cautiously through the haze. When the smoke finally drifted away, he saw a horror that no mathematical formula in the world could ever explain. Lying on the floor, dressed in burnt, futuristic fabrics, was a man shot through the chest, bleeding out. And that man's face was the exact mirror image of his own. It was himself. Part 4. 2 Teslas, 1 Destiny. The young Tesla dropped the metal coil. He fell to his knees, taking the bleeding, dying body into his arms. Is this an illusion? Is this another one of Edison's tricks? Who are you? He cried, his voice trembling. The wounded Tesla from the future forced his eyes open. Seeing his own past, those pure, ambitious eyes, he smiled with immense pain. With a bloody hand, he gripped the young Tesla's collar. Not an illusion, Nikola. He coughed, blood escaping his lips. I am your future. I come from the Dark Age, where our soul will wake up, centuries from now. Young Tesla's mind went completely numb. The future? This clothing? This wound? What happened? The dying Tesla stared deep into his past self's eyes, his words blending with the electric hum of the laboratory. Listen to me, Nikola. I have no time. Death is not the end. Reincarnation is real. We are reborn, and he was reborn too. Thomas Edison. Young Tesla's eyes narrowed with sudden hatred. Edison? What does that thief have to do with my future? In the future, he is about to turn the world into a mind prison. He is building a network to destroy free will. He shot me in my time, in the year 2900. I managed to send the Chronos Pod back to the past. There is no way to stop him in the future. Science has failed. Humanity has lost. Tears streamed down young Tesla's face as he pressed hard against his future self's wound.
Then is it over? Did you come here just to die? What can I do? The dying Tesla pulled young Tesla's face closer with his remaining strength. The desperation and sheer defiance in his voice were so powerful, even the storm outside seemed to go silent. No, it is not over. There is one way. We cannot defeat that monster Edison using his own future technology. He can only be stopped by the Edison right here, in 1899. His ambition, his practical mind, his ruthless efficiency is what we need. If he learns that his future self becomes such a demon, he will ally with you to protect his own legacy. Convince him, Nikola. Take your enemy of the past to fight the devil of the future. Go back to the present together. Time passes there just as it does here. When you arrive, you will be in my lab, in my secret safe. There is a book. It has everything. Inside the encrypted safe, the code. The code is... The last bit of strength left the future Tesla's body. His fingers loosened from the collar, and his hand fell lifelessly to the floor. His eyes remained open, staring into nothingness. He had died before he could reveal the location of the safe or its code. The lab fell dead silent, save for the low hum of the generators and the fading storm. The Nikola Tesla of 1899 slowly stood up over his own corpse. The shock was gone. In his eyes, the scientific curiosity he had carried his whole life was replaced by a cold, terrifying fire of vengeance. He buttoned his vest, adjusted his collar, and walked firmly toward the laboratory door. As he opened it, facing the freezing wind of the night, he whispered, "Edison, I swore I would never step foot near your doorstep as long as I lived. But tonight, to save the world, I am coming to shake your hand."